Alright, so for some reason in the last week I've gotten a bunch of comments on a video I did a while back on this Ruger Old Army. This is my Ruger Old Army with the Curse cartridge converter in it, Magnetusk grips. This is a holster that Jay Wheeler made for me, cross draw, and then I made the belt. And I've got this set up kind of like what Angel Eyes had in um, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, you know, the cross draw. I believe he used a Remington in that movie, but I'm not a big fan of the Remington black powder pistols. I've had a lot of, they just don't seem to run dirty very long. But on this gun, it has Curse cartridge converter. And some people asked if I ever got around to modifying it. No, I didn't. I was thinking at one time I wanted to put a loading gate on this, and then so you could load it like a regular single action revolver. I've decided that because these guns aren't made anymore and they are getting hard to find and very expensive, I really didn't want to dish out or grind this out so that it would accept cartridges if I did that. Plus, it's easy enough to unload it that I don't know, it'd be a lot of work to do that, and I don't see where the benefits would be. I'm not one that's into collector stuff, but I will say that on this gun, um, I just don't think that I want to change it out like that, being that they don't make these anymore. I would like to find another one with a 5.5 inch barrel. I think they made them in, or 5 inch barrel, a shorter barrel. Nothing wrong with the 7.5, and this thing with the adjustable sights, it shoots better than I can shoot it. On this, I primarily shoot smokeless cartridges. These are hard cast bullets, but they have they've been powder coated, and these ones look like copper. This is a pretty stout load. It's not a Ruger only load, but it's way too stout to comfortably shoot it in any of the Pieta single action army clones. I keep, and that's why these bullets are this color, powder coated. That's how he sent them to me. But all the ones that I shoot out of this have that color powder coating, so I don't mix them up. And these are, I want to say, 255 grain hard cast lead bullet, and they're moving over 1,000 feet per second with smokeless powder. Like I said, the gun shoots better than I can shoot it. But no, I didn't modify it. I decided to leave it like that. I still have the cap and ball cylinder, but I don't shoot cap and ball too much. It's just, it takes too much time to clean them, and I just don't ever seem to have that much time laying around. The Magnetusk grips, I thought about sending these to Sig and having him scrimshaw them like I do my carry guns and some of the other ones he's done. Um, but I kind of like the looks of just having some plain grips, and I left these white. Magnetusk will make these look aged. These are getting to be about a year old, and they have not changed colors. So when they age them, they'll stay looking aged. But if you get them in the white, they are white. And these are really nice grips. Cheap plastic ones on these single actions, especially, like to break out where the pin is in the bottom here on the inside. These Magnetusk grips are tough. Other than that, I don't really know much more to say about it. I think this one was made in the early to mid 70s, if I remember right. I would have to relook up the information on the serial number again. Probably one of the nicest single action cap and ball revolvers ever made, in my opinion. The only flaw I see with the Ruger Old Army, and I'm not even sure that it's a flaw, but it would be really nice if you could pull this down and then just slide this out, this base pin out, like a Remington without having to pull the whole assembly off. I mean, if there was one thing I would change, that would be the thing that I would change on these. Other than that, I mean, strong. The research I did, this is the same exact frame as the Blackhawks, except for it's a little bit longer and they extended it to put that pin right there in to hold this all in. Um, I believe it. I mean, everything about it feels like a Ruger Super Blackhawk or a Blackhawk. Um, and like I said, this one here, I don't shoot, super hot Ruger only loads through it, but I shoot stout loads through it. If I was in bear country, this I would absolutely feel comfortable taking this out with me, especially with the adjustable sights, 7.5-inch barrel. You could get some velocity out of it. This gun is extremely accurate for being a revolver. I probably shoot better with this than I do almost any of my other revolvers, and that may be to do with the adjustable rear sight. Most of my other ones are fixed, and you got to file sights and everything else to get them to shoot right. But this is the Ruger Old Army for the people that were asking about it. No, I didn't modify it for a loading gate and that, and I just don't think I'm gonna. I love blued guns with ivory, fake ivory grips, because I don't even know if you can get real ivory grips anymore. But to me, that's just a beautiful combination for a gun. I'm gonna keep my eyes open for one with a shorter barrel, the 5-inch. I'd love to have a blued one. Even a stainless steel would be fine, but I would love to have a blued one. Fixed sights or adjustable, I wouldn't care with ivory grips, imitation ivory, magnetus grips like this would be perfect to add with this one. Um, on this holster, you can see it. Jay Wheeler did a beautiful job on this. I've got a few guys I use for doing leather holsters. You've heard me talk about Legendary Custom Leathers. He does beautiful work. He's done a bunch of holsters for me. But I like to try and support all the little guys, so to speak. And Jay Wheeler, I consider him a friend of mine. I absolutely love that holster. The gun fits in it so nicely. I've got a couple Duke Frazier holsters that he did for me. I sewed them together, but he cut them out and did everything else. I just sewed them together because I wanted to do it myself. Nice leather holsters. Maybe I'll do a holster video one day. Uh, there's another guy on YouTube that I met um, that I've been talking to, and I think I'm going to have him make me a holster eventually, just to try and support everybody a little bit. And I mean, you guys have heard me in my other videos. I love revolvers and I love leather holsters. So, anyway, this is the Ruger Old Army. I want to thank the people that commented, because, like I said, I didn't think that anybody was watching that video, but apparently in the last week, a lot of people watched that Ruger Old Army video. Trying to think anything else I can think of on these. I did read an article that when Bill Ruger originally came out with this, that he wanted to make the most powerful black powder pistol on the market with modern technology. I've heard that with the cap and ball cylinder in it and that it's getting close to what the Walker velocities were in that. I don't know if that's true, but I had heard that for testing purposes, they were loading up smokeless powder in development to make sure that they built a gun that's really strong. Don't know if any of that's true. Just, you know, heard it on the internet. Take it for a grain of salt. But I would absolutely believe that just because of the fact that, like I said, I've fired some pretty stout loads through this, and it's never given me a bit of trouble. This cylinder on this thing locks up so tight, and the timing is so perfect on this Ruger Old Army. I don't know if all of them are that way. If you've got one, tell me how the timing is on yours. But I mean, there is absolutely no movement at all, no rotation at all. When this thing's locked, it is locked up tighter than a bank vault. And I'm sure that, along with the 7.5 inch barrel and the adjustable sights, is what makes this gun so accurate. But this is absolutely would be great for deer hunting or hog hunting, or I mean, if you were a guy that bear hunted with pistols, I mean, I think this would do it. It's like I said, it's in my favorites as far as my single actions. When I was younger, I preferred to have every single action I had a 7.5 inch barrel, and then as I got older, I really liked the looks in the handling of the shorter 5 inch and 4 3/4 inch barrels. So maybe eventually I'll find a good enough deal on one with a 5 inch barrel. I think it was 5 inch, or it might have been 5.5, but I'll find one of the 5 inch barreled Ruger Old Armies, um, cartridge conversion, and have a matching set, so to speak, other than one with a 7.5 inch barrel and one with a 5. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, thank you to everybody that took the comment or took the time to comment on that video and ask questions. Um, I always appreciate it. I like to read the comments. That's the most fun thing to me about doing these videos, because I'm just an average shooter. I'm a regular guy like everybody else. So when I do a video and people show interest in it or take the time to comment on it, makes a guy feel good. But hope everybody has a wonderful Easter, and I will see you on the flip side.